All right, guys, without further ado, here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, playing as the blue Terran pieces. Give it up. It is special. And in the top right, in the red, playing as the Protoss pieces from Alpha X. Give it up. It is Johan. All right, so interesting turn of a bit. Johan and the special going to be facing it off here in the finals. And the special has had to play Protoss every map that he's had to play. So Johan, I don't think, has seen his maps. Maybe he has watched. I don't know. But how will that play into this? Special goes into his barracks. And, you know, he's really shown some different strategies. Special has played this very smart. We saw in the last series that he really just would watch and was getting the scouts off to basically counter what the Protoss was doing. You see Nexus coming out for Johan as he does send that probe across the map. It looks to get some potential scouting off, but also at the same time trying to make sure that there's no proxies from Special. Now it's going to be a Marine first coming out from Special, and he is going to send out his SCB and gets himself an early CC. And it's kind of curious, right? You know, Special has had to deal with Protosses being very aggressive with their probe, and Johan giving the respect, but also he is proxying a pylon. So it kind of gives us, hey, maybe he's doing something, and we'll see what he does. But oh, the Marine going to just scout this out of me. Oh man, beautiful play. Special. Both players getting a little crazy there. As he does see the gateway coming through, comes in with the SCV and scouts and kind of sees what is coming through here. Special, I don't know if he's mad or he's just kind of like, oh man, this again. But it's going to be 3 racks opening from Special, so both players are going to get aggressive here, and that is going to be beautiful. Now, Johan does have another probe in the shadows here. He's going to get seen from the SCV, as it's going to be a probe on SCV fight with the Marine and Adept fighting as well. Gateway is allowed to finish up, and we will start seeing more of these Adepts start filing in. Immediately going to throw down the bunker here on the Special side. Johan going into more gateways. He's adding on that 3rd gateway. He's got the warp gate on the way. So this does give Johan a little bit of a window where I guess he could potentially attack, but also he is waiting for the opportunity to start warping in, and Special will be able to finish up this bunker, will allow himself to have a little bit more defense. Here comes that shade though, does not finish, but he is able to at least see the bunker is there. And behind this, gonna get that tech lab up and running, more and more Marines. Now behind all of this, this pressure, we see the Twilight Council coming down from Johan. He is going to potentially start getting Blink behind this, and then eventually go into charge. We've seen this earlier in the tournament, where he did this kind of big harass, and it turned out pretty well for him, but we'll see if it will continue to do so here in this series. Stim on the way for the Terran, and finally getting that factory up. Will allow him to get tanks, potentially even go into Widow Mines if he wants to. So we'll see. Shade's going to be coming in once again. Does he complete the Shade? No, he does not. Not committing to it yet. I think he wants to build up a little bit more. He does have that Blink on the way. And behind this, I mean, does he feel confident he could take a 3rd? Or does he just continue to put more pressure into this? I think behind it all, Special still doing pretty well, considering he hasn't really taken any damage from this pressure. So, and he's had ample time to essentially rebuild this. But it looks like Johan might pull the trigger now. No, again, he's going to go ahead and back up. Special does see where the army is, though, with these Marines. And again, here comes another attack. The Shades, do they complete? No. playing this. Am I going to complete? Am I going to complete? Nope. There we go. Cool. Robotics facility on the way for Johan. And, well, again, just keeping track of where this army is. Trying to keep basically Special on the defensive. But now he is going to have the medevacs available to be able to start, you know, putting in some pressure here. It looks like finally Johan going to come in here with the adapts. Will eventually just completely fail on that front. And at home gets more stalkers. He's going to start warping in more. But yeah, this has not done anything. And Johan definitely playing from behind right now. He does have the probe count, which is good. And he is going to take a third base before Special is able to. But Special just in a really good position right now. He's got +1. He's got combat shields on the way. Medevacs are going to be spawning out, which will allow him to be a little bit more active on the map. Here come the stalkers, though, blinking back. And, yeah, a lot of Special's army, though, is very hurt. He needs to kind of, you know, heal up. And behind this, oh, my goodness, robotics bay. Fortunately, Special not able to really kind of go across and do damage. Yeah, looks like he had a couple of Marines able to get at least 2 probe kills. And here we go. Finally, we'll be able to clean this up. Another warp in, though. There we go. All right. Ooh, looks like he's going to go for an attack. Okay, cool. I like it. Going to drop into the main potentially, as we do see those stalkers starting to push in once again. Extended thermal lance on the way for the Protoss, and we'll actually get the kill on that third base. A little bit of a tough situation for Special, and Johan has a good vision. Does see that it is going to be mines, or at least a mine, coming through. And here comes Special into the main base. Johan does have that extended thermal lance almost done. The probe's going to get pulled. Stim is done, so we'll be able to at least get on top of some of the probes. Kills off 11, 12 probes at the same time. Blink forward into the main for Johan, as he's going to be able to start taking out some probes of his own, pulling the SCVs from the natural as well. Special trying to hold this off while all of the units across the map for Special trying to do a base trade in essence here. And yeah, I mean, both players just going super aggressive into this. We'll be able to at least get the... what is he doing here? We'll be able to get the natural, if anything. But looks like he's not even going to do that. Yeah, I mean, he's losing all of his SCVs, but at the same time, all the probes are going down here for Johan as well. That third base is going to be very crucial, but he is shutting down any kind of tech from Johan, picking up and moving out with his CC and stuff. Just trying to keep himself in a good situation as the space trade does commence. 42 SCVs have gone down, 39 probes for the Protoss. He still has 16 probes, and all of them are mining very efficiently onto that third base. Natural will go down, the main will go down as well, and eventually it's just going to be the third, but looks like Johan will go ahead and throw down another base out at the bottom and actually get scouted from Special. A Special is trying to find every unit possible. The big thing right now is because of the Special going to be in the natural, or just in space, not going to be reached, and actually just right next to Johan's new base. Gets the kill as well, very interesting. Or at least the kind of play here. Oh no, he's got to pull back. Mine does go down. There is no detection with this army at the moment. And here we go. Does get a bunch of cancels. The Marines, the Marauders coming in here. I don't think Johan has enough to deal with this. The blinks are pretty good. The shield batteries are coming down, but there's nothing to help with this. It does force Special back. For the time being, he has that mine. He's trying to lure this in. 9 more probes do go down. Special only has 1 SCV remaining, but he's going to get on top of it, and Special gets game number 1 as Johan taps out in a first base trade, a first game scenario here. Both players looking fantastic, with Special able to defend and overcome there as both players go into that situation. So, game number 2 going to be on Oxide. What a first match. I'm excited to see, you know, do we have another thing like that? Like, we've seen Johan kind of do the same, essentially, builds. And Special has played very kind of reactive this whole tournament. No map hack. Special and Johan going at it in the chat. Super funny. I think both players are ready. And we'll be getting into it again. Oxide going to be game number 2. It is a small map. So will we see another proxy come out from Johan? Or do we see maybe Special go? You know, it's a best of 5 and he is up 1-0. Maybe you throw in some cheese. We haven't seen him actually cheese, so... like I said, he's been playing very reactionary. Essentially just getting the scout off and then just playing to whatever the Protoss is doing. It's very like Zerg-like, right? Zerg normally is known as like a reactionary race. But Special pulling it off. We'll see if he can continue his lead or if we'll tie things up here in game number 2. All right. In the top right-hand corner of the map, playing as the blue Terran pieces here on Oxide. Give it up. It is Special. And in the bottom left, in the red, playing as the Protoss pieces. Give it up. It is Johan. All right. So, Johan going for a proxy, gets scouted out immediately. And we see that Special able to just essentially defend it, right? He was able to scout it out early enough. Didn't get the kill like he was wanting to, but was able to at least get the bunker up, get the Marines, get everything that he needed to defend the push. And whenever Johan finally decided to kind of pull the trigger here, it essentially flopped. You know, he wasn't able to get the kills done. Special just had so much Marines. He went, 3 racks against it. And by then, Johan just kind of lost the steam. He tried to recover a little bit, but with the Blink Stalker follow-up. But besides just killing a bunch of probes, Special was just able to do a better base trade. And unfortunately, Johan did not have enough as a follow-up to be able to keep it up. Oh my goodness. Johan going for another proxy. Is he going to do the same build again here in Special? Against Special. He is going to come down looking for, a third base. He's going to come into the natural, see that, there is a potential there. And it is going to be the gateway once again. Oh my goodness, this Marine. Okay, he's scouting around. He knows that there's got to be something here, right? There's got to be some kind of like proxy void rays or something. You would think, So, good stuff. Factory going to be coming down for Special behind all of this. And this could be more potent. I mean, Special opened up very aggressively in game number 1, which helped him out so much. He's going to be throwing down a bunker, so it won't be too bad. And he will be up before Johan can actually, get too much going. But it is going to be essentially the same build here as game number 1. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty standard on Special's side. Maybe he thinks, okay, there's a pylon or something missing. But it is going to be a single adept. We're going to have a couple of more adepts and a stalker come in. Immediately, Marine's going to be going into the bunker. And, Johan really just, I don't know, maybe it's just because of the build. He sits back, waits until he gets quite a bit of adepts before moving in. Doesn't get glaives or anything like that, but Special throwing down the starport in a proxy location, trying to pull, I guess maybe go into Liberator would be really good. Cyclone on the way, more Marines. I think he's going to be more than okay against this. And now with the warp gate finishing up, we'll be able to start just warping across the map, and we should start seeing a push coming out here from Johan. Special does have that single bunker, and he's got, like I said, quite a few Marines. He should be okay, but again, he doesn't have a scout on what is actually happening. Starport will be nice. Oh, he's actually going into Tech Lab. Is he going into Banshees? Oh, please tell me he's going. Yes, he's going into Cloak Banshees. This is going to be perfect against what Johan is doing. Johan going to continue to push up into the front. We do see the shade forming in. Marines trying to get on top of everything at the same time. The bunker of the Marines going to be facing against what is in the front. All of the Adepts are going to eventually fall here. The Marines pulling forward. Cyclone locking on to some of the Stalkers, and will push this back once again. And there is a Banshee lurking in the shadows, getting ready to form. Now, the Cyclone is down. A new Cyclone is coming through here. And Special with those Marines will be ready for another attack. A lot of the units here from Johan is very damaged. And he's pushing everything across the map. He does have a third base here. And Special looking to be in a very good position here. Johan adding on more units and will eventually go back home. But now the Banshee popping out for Special. There was nothing at home to defend against this. I mean, he could recall with the Stalkers, but he has no detection with this army. He has no detection whatsoever. Cloak is about finished up. And yeah, I think he's waiting for Cloak to finish up. And then also for this attack, make sure that he does not have any damage. Cyclone, though, getting very low, will have to be forced back. Still, Zealots coming in here, the Sentry, or excuse me, the Stalkers helping out as well, still getting some damage done. And here comes that Banshee at the same time, getting a few kills across the map. Here comes the Stalkers to try to deal with this, but now with the Blink, going to be able to continue onto it. And it looks like even at the natural, Special able to defend here. And just holding it off like a pro already. A few probes going down, 4, 5, and even more. And again, trying to chrono out the the Observer, but not able to get it. Yeah, I think he. Oh, is he going to lose it though? He does get 8 kills, so killing off 7 workers. Finally, there is going to be some shield batteries put into the mineral lines here, but with a second Banshee coming out here, Special just definitely playing a different game. Oh my god. He's got a third Banshee on the way. 9 probes have gone down. There is a third base here though for Johan, but again, these Banshees just getting the work done. And unfortunately, it's at this point right now where Special able with 3 Banshees just to kind of force Johan in this weird position. He does get one of the Banshees, which is really good. It looks like the other Banshee is going to return back home as the other a new Banshee does come out. Or has he lost 2 of them? He's only lost 1 of them. Okay. But now things stabilizing a little bit, and we see a move out, at least to the third base for Special. But it looks like Johan is not done yet. He's going to continue to put on some pressure. Going to get right on top of the tank. One of the tanks does go down. The other tank going to unsiege and start pushing in. The SCV is going to try to push this back against Johan. And the Banshee putting in more damage. Every time Johan tries to come in and take out Special, he has those Banshees in the wing to just take out everything. Does have the Observer, but eventually that does get all taken out. And again, having to focus more on his own base than actually being able to deal damage. Just annoying. There we go. Yeah. We'll eventually lose all the Banshees, but getting the damage done, very crucial. More Banshees on the way. Oh my goodness. Just continuing that constant harassment here is Special. Johan though, just trying to build up more units. He does have Immortals on the way finally, adding on some additional pylons and just continuing to produce workers. He's at 61 workers, so even after all this, he's still ahead in the economy version, but his army just cannot handle it. He's going to go into the natural, though there's nothing here to defend. Instantly, we see a lot of the depots going up. We're going to be able to get into the main. The force here from a Special will have to eventually return. Oh, he gets the denial of the stim pack. Oh, so good. But is that going to be enough here? Yeah, sure, it's going to be okay for the moment, but oh, the Banshee barely going to make it out. And as this continues on, Special getting more and more powerful. Yes, he's not going to have stim it basically restarts. But Johan doing a pretty good job, though. I gotta say that, in all things considered, he has this good aggression. The biggest problem is obviously just those Banshees being very annoying. I think maybe throw like a photon cannon or something in the bases would be a lot better. But he's going to take a 4th base behind this. Looks like Stalker's going to get on top of everything. Charge Lot's going to get on top of the infantry. Adepts are to nowhere to be seen. Immortal and the Archon going to start pushing in here now. Special already falling behind as the Zealots do come in here, trying to pull the SCVs on top of everything. The tank's going to go down. Another tank not even sieged up. And the Immortals just dealing a lot of damage. These Stalkers going to get on top of everything. Going to be able to get the... Oh, almost got the medevac there. But I don't think that Johan has enough. He is going to be able to kill off quite a bit of SCVs, which is going to help him in the economic game. But with the additional warping of Zealots here, does he have enough to push this back? Special trying to push back as much as he can. A lot of the units here, though, for Johan are low. But I think Johan has just a little bit too much. That 3rd base instantly going to get picked up and will eventually have to move back. As we see Special trying to regather his forces. Going to get on top of the Immortal. The Stalker's blinking forward, though. Going to block these units from actually getting to that Immortal. Going to allow some things kind of to rebuild. As we see Johan going in with the Storm. Still a little bit of ways from finishing up, but that could be the crux. The nail in the coffin here for Special as he's continuing to try to hold this off. Johan warping in more and more units. Kills off one of the medevacs. The 2nd medevac getting very low. As that 4th base is now established for Johan. Special back down to a 2-base economy. He does have tanks waiting in the back. But is it going to be enough here? And with Johan, with that blink, going to be able to get into the main if he so desires. I don't think it's going to help him out that much. But now, very smartly moving back. But oh no, the Immortal. There we go. Does eventually move back. And now with the High Templar gathering up energy, Storm is complete. This makes things very, very tough for our Terran. He does not have a Ghost Academy yet. He does not have ghosts at all, obviously. And he's just now being able to take his 3rd base once again. He's at 51 SCVs. His army is a little bit better as far as army count, but a lot of that supply is in those medevacs and tanks. So thankfully this is a pretty decent choke that he can get some good pot shots off on. But here we go. Once again, Charge going to get on here. Storm on all of the army of the Terran. But finally, the High Templar do go down. The Immortals in the back dealing a lot of damage. The SCVs trying to get pulled here. But 14 more SCVs go down and more counting. But I think this time, Special has enough to push this back. Trying to get on top of the Immortals. Trying to get on top of that War Prism. And now we see +2 on the way. We've got Drilling Claws coming down as well. Oh no, the War Prism. Alright, finally, going to be able to take out that Proxy Gate. And here we come again with that War Prism. Is this an overextension, though, from Johan? No. He's going to go into the main now and start dealing damage. And at the same time, attacking into the natural with some Zealots. Just all over the place. Trying to find where to attack. Eventually, this should get cleaned up. But the damage has been done. Another 11 SCVs do go down. And Special down 36 SCVs. There is a Banshee here, though. And he is trying to take out that 4th base. Drilling Claws does complete. +2 as well for the infantry weapons. And now, do we see Special move across the map? Is this his time to attack? I don't know. The Banshee's not really getting that much done now. Here comes another attack. A lot of Zealots. Charge does finish. Or excuse me, the Widowmine does come down. Gets a couple of hits there. Storming is there, but now Special just basically having to kite this all the way. He can't fully engage this army either because of the storms. And his army is just very super low. Oh. Looking for a little bit of a sandwich. Going to be coming onto this third base once again. Do we see the SCVs pulled? Storm coming down. No. Yeah, another storm does come down. GG and Johan. Oh, yeah, it's a best of 5. Sorry, I hit best of 3 instead. But Johan going to be taking game number 2, tying things up. Thank you, Carrie, for reminding me of that as well. Alrighty, so game number 3 going to be on Death Aura. So go you. Good stuff. All right. What a series we have had so far. Special really bringing it, doing some really good plays, but Johan, man, with that aggression, has just been so great. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 3, and let's see who pulls ahead. There we go. One and bomb. Haha. Into the top left, spawning in on Death Aura. Give it up for the blue Terran. It is special. And in the bottom right, in the red, it's the Protoss player known as Johan. Alright. So game number 2 on Death Aura. I'm interested to see what ends up happening now. For those who don't know, Death Aura does have these little rocks that kind of separate a quicker pathway across the map. A lot of times we will see players kind of break down these rocks to give themselves a little bit more of a reinforcement quickening, if you want to call it, as well as they have these accelerator zones, so will allow them to move faster, shoot faster, do things faster. Both players being little chatty Cathys today. I love seeing it though. Probe going to be coming in, and it gives a little bit of scout. Special. Always a character. Gives the eBay block. Will allow Special to essentially put down his CC a little bit quicker. I love it. But no, I'm curious here in game 3. What do we see Johan do, right? Because both games, he has gone for like adepts, got into this very aggression play, and this time he's kind of sitting back and playing a more macro-centric game. So far, this is going to be Marines from a Special. Don't think he actually... Did he go straight Marine? Yeah. So, getting that straight Marine to be able to go factory a little bit quicker, I guess, but because he goes into the reactor, kind of changes things up. So... there we go. Once again, Adept going to be making its way across the map. And this is really good, right? So, the previous 2 games, we've seen Johan do this crazy, like, Adept play into, like, Blink Stalkers. He's going to send across an Adept, making it seem like, okay, I'm doing the same build again. Does that play into Special? Is that a mind game for him? We see him, essentially opening up the same way, right? He's going into Marines. He's going into the tech lab to get Cyclones. We will see eventually, kind of going into the same kind of style that he has to against this, right? Twilight Council going to be finishing up, and the robotics facility is now down. So, if you're special, excuse me. If you're special, you come in here and you scout this out. You're like, is he doing this again 3 games in a row? Really, no. He's going somewhere else with it, or at least he's not doing a committed pressure. He is adding 3 gates, though, so maybe I don't know anything. It is still going to be very pressure oriented, but again, with the blink coming through, and this map in general being very good for blink, I don't see a problem with it. Now, Raven is coming out. We do see the tank, or the factory, building at least tech labs for the moment. And then we'll eventually go into a mine as a follow-up. Johan putting out a pylon. Just wants to make sure all of his bases are covered. There is a robotics facility making the warp prism almost out. And we should start seeing more stalkers coming through and potentially even throwing in some zealots. But it does look like it is going to be a stalker pressure coming out here from Johan. Special is pretty well defended. He's got some in the main. He's got stim on the way, and he does have mines. That's going to be a big crucial thing, especially if Johan does, essentially come over here and he's able to put it in a position. I don't think he really knows. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to scout this out. He knows that there is potential for a pressure. Ooh, beautiful. We'll allow him to actually blink up here. Tasty. Alright, so here we go. The War Prism going to be coming in here. Beautiful blink. It's going to be coming down. Stim on the way, as well as concussive, combat shields. Does he get the kill again? Oh, the Raven barely able to survive. Another big warp in of stalkers, and here we go. Trying to push into the front now. The Marines and Marauders still holding on tight. Bunker does eventually go down here, and Johan starting to micro the best he can. Able to kill off the Observer. And now with the SCVs and the Marines starting to push back Johan, but Johan pushing back himself now. The War Prism is in a kind of curious position, could potentially just go into the main and force a little bit of a situation there, but it looks like Special will be able to hold this off for the time being. He is sending across his Raven to try to deal some damage and just continue the pressure across the map. But 8 SCVs have fallen here for Special. Mines are in a pretty good position, and once again, there is no Observer with this army, so if he's not careful, he will be able to get some damage done. But beautiful blink, and the Raven only able to get a kill. Now, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of anti-air here for the Terran, so not able to pick up that War Prism, which allows Johan to continue to be aggressive. He does have those stalkers continuing to fly around, potentially trying to go into the main base and just continue the pressure. And again, Special continuing to push this back, continuing to just try to make sure that Johan cannot be in his base anywhere. But at the same time, another attack going on into the main, blinking forward. We'll be able to pick off a couple of more SCVs and potentially go into the natural behind this. Now, he has to be careful because his medevacs are getting into kind of a weird situation where they're just kind of out there. And with the stalkers being in the War Prism, not a good idea. Raven does eventually get taken out, only able to kill off a couple of probes, and not really worth it. But behind this, we do have Colossus Tech and Extended Thermal Lance coming out here from Johan. So we will see. Command Center is on the way. Third base, at least, for Special. Johan's obviously already put together. And behind this is getting more stalkers. He's got more gateways. He's finally going to get a forge down to start the upgrading process. And yeah, all around pretty good. Looking to get the kill. Oh, nope, not able to. So the third base will finish up for Special. And I like this. Keeping that War Prism out, just making sure any drops are seen. And now Special, he's having to essentially be defensive, right? I mean, he can definitely go across and attack, and I think he has a pretty decent army at this point. And it does look like he is going to go ahead and do that. He even has enough Vikings here. I think if he can somehow attack this early on, he should be okay. Here comes the Zealot, though. We'll actually scout where this army is at, allowing Johan to kind of get in a good position, or at least figure out where he wants to go with it. But again, we have to keep this in consideration. Johan's army is very damaged. A lot of his stalkers are very low besides their shields. So even though he may have a greater force, he still has to play this very carefully. Ooh, the medevacs. Got to be careful here. A couple of force fields do go down. The Colossus in the back are able to get a lot of damage done. War Prism able to pick up the Colossus to save it. And now with the Disruptor out, he's got to be careful. Disruptor shot will be coming forward. And oh no. Oh, okay. He's able to pick it off before it is able to actually to complete. Loses 2 medevacs and GG. Johan will take game number 2 there. Or game number 3, excuse me. Goes up 2-1. So game number 4 to be on the way. It is going to be Light Shade and Special. You got to be thinking, okay, what can I do differently here? Obviously, aggression is Johan's key right now. Johan is on a match point. Just needs one more. Special needs to turn things around and, you know, win the next 2 games. So we'll see if he can somehow do that or if Johan will take it and be the Korea Light Cup number 4 winner. Special looking really good, though, so let's see. Alrighty. Let's get into it, guys. Game number 4. Here we go. Here we go. Alright. Without further ado, in the bottom right, in the blue, give it up, is Special. Le Mejor. Special. And in the top left, in the red, is the Protoss. It is Johan. Johan. All right. So, Special. Going to be proxying Arax. Finally seeing him going for a potential 2 racks, maybe just going 1 racks actually, but with the double refinery definitely looking like it could be a second. Johan going to be coming into the main. We'll see, hey, you're missing a barracks, and we'll instantly start looking for it. Yeah. So, going to be looking up to the top, but it is actually on the bottom. Now, because he went double gas, you would think that, hey, I'm going to be going double racks, but it's just going to be 1 racks. I guess maybe to go into a factory quicker? Is that what the play is? Oh, gets the eBay block as well. Oh, that's annoying. But it is actually really good for Special. Will allow him to have a little bit more potency with the Reaper. There we go. Factory coming down at home. Finish off the gas. And, yeah, Zealot going to be coming out as well. Now, this delays Johan quite a bit in his natural, forcing him to essentially not have the stuff that he wants, right? Yeah. Not a whole lot done, but, I mean, at least he was able to kind of delay some things. Forces out a Zealot, which, you know, delays any, like, a depth play or any kind of pressure that comes into the front. Now, Special going to go into the factory with the tech lab, and behind this, I mean, what does he do? Does he want to go into just a Cyclone, the same kind of Cyclone Marine play that he's been doing? Or do we see him go for something else? He's going to throw down 2 more racks. So it's going to be a 3 racks with the tech lab. And finally going to get an expansion behind it as well. So. All right. Gonna go with the reactor. I think Disco Tech Labs on those is gonna be the call. But so far, not too bad. Like I said, opening up that way will allow at least the adept harass that we've been seeing Johan do kind of be depleted, allow Special to kind of do what he wants across the map. It's gonna be a Twilight Council follow-up for Johan. I'm gonna get that blink, and again, you know, not the best blink map, but that is a good little ledge that you could blink into. I think there was like we can warp in there too or something, but there we go. Reaper just trying to scout around the map, see is there any kind of proxies going on, is there anything I need to be worried about. And it's going to be a tank behind the Cyclone, Marines coming out, as well as eventually should be getting stem. Does have the starport on the way, so we will see that kind of medevac push, be able to start doing drops and such. So not too bad. Special coming in with the Reaper. We'll at least see kind of what army composition that Johan has for the time being, and yeah, looking good. Now, CC is up for Special. He is going to continue with making more and more just SCVs, continuing to essentially just scout around. Third base for Johan does go down. He's already, you know, surpassed with the worker count. So even that early aggression denying the natural has kind of already pushed itself off for the time being. Zealot going to be doing some harassment itself. And behind us, we do have that robotics bay. Now, we've seen Johan go into disruptors. We've seen him go into Colossus. So I'm curious, does he just kind of mix those in once again? His disruptor shots have been pretty well, but Special very good at actually just triggering down the disruptors, and Johan will see this moving across the map. This is a pretty heavy attack coming across. We'll get the kill there, but blinking forward, Stalker is going to be able to get the Cyclone, shutting down some potential pressure there, but with the tanks, should be okay. The SCVs trying to help heal up the tanks if they get damaged, and behind this with the Liberators, we'll be able to at least kind of put some more pressure, but given that there is blink already here, I don't know. It's going to be tough with those. Does he go into another base to attack? It looks like that could be the possibility. Does get pushed away with the Liberator. It's going to siege up in front of the natural. A third tank going to be joining into this. The Marines in a pretty solid position as the tank's trying to re-siege, regather. Blinking forward. There is that charge going through. The Immortal is going to end up falling down. The Marines trying to be careful not to overextend, healing up with those SCVs, keeping up that last tank. The Stalkers forming up front. Do get that last tank though, as we see more Stalkers getting warped in. Still, the Liberator is in place. More more tanks and stuff coming through. Eventually, the Liberator will fall as the Marines coming across, trying to get on top of that third base, but at the same time trying to defend against the Stalkers. The tank will end up falling. No, he's able to pick it up and get out of there in time. There we go. Beautiful. Tank is going to go ahead and siege up. The SCV is still repairing the tanks. Still getting that as we just see Special moving more and more across the map. Behind this, Stim is about finished. And when Stim finishes up, it makes it very, very tough here for Johan. But Johan needs to keep this alive. A lot of his units, though, starting to get very low. The tanks shooting off onto the Immortal. Zealots trying to help out with this. And now, moving forward with the tank. Looking to be very good. Johan only has a few Stalkers here. And with the Unsiege, we'll be able to kind of continue to push in onto this third base. Now, the tanks could potentially siege up, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and hold off on doing so. Could pick him up with the medevac, which is going to be what he does to keep those alive. The jungle has been alive here for Special as he is going to continue to push forward. Gets the Immortal, gets the Stalkers. The second Immortal falls. A lot of these units here are falling very, very low, and there's no more healing for the medevac. So each stem. Going to be very crucial if he continues to defend against us, but with more Marines, more units flooding across the map, and now more medevacs being used, does he push back? He does get the kill on that third base, so very good. And the medevac doing some good jungling, just trying to get on top, stem forward. And the overcharge will allow this to survive for the time being. All the Marines are going to fall. Eventually, these tanks are going to fall as well. And Johan finally able to hold this off, but Special getting his own third base, able to get more and more units at home. We do see the counterattack coming out here from Johan, though. But there's already a lot here. And I don't think he's going to be able to get it. Special immediately moving that third base out of position. Knows that there is that possibility of the counterattack and actually sees it. And now we see Johan getting pushed back. Third base, so going to be retaken for Johan as he does return home. And now it's going to be Colossus. Extended thermal lance. He's got charge on the way. Adding on the forge. Start upgrades. And yeah, I mean, we don't even have... Okay, we finally have upgrades now coming out here for Special. And Johan doing this really good job with the stalkers, right? He's going to barely see that there are some stalkers. Push this back, and it will eventually push across the map with a little bit of a drop. I think that's going to be very crucial. Oh no, the medevac. Ugh, loses a medevac for free there. Not good. Alright, third base finally finished up, and these stalkers still being annoying. Keeping out of range of the tank as much as possible. Yeah, good job. More and more tanks coming out. We do have those marauders and stuff. And right now, I mean, he's sitting on 5 racks. He could potentially add more, but for the time being, he's perfectly fine with the 5. And with +1 almost finished up. Should be more than okay. Extended thermal lance is about done, as the first Colossus and second Colossus are here. Tempa Archives is going to be behind all of this, so we'll be able to get Storm, be able to get anything his heart desires. You gotta be careful though. These medevacs are always this out in front of his army. Makes it very tough. Some good force fields will go down. The tank sieging up onto the low ground as the Marines and the Marauders looking to start moving their way up the ramp, waiting for those to expire. It does eventually expire, and now trying to leapfrog these tanks forward to continue to put a little bit of a choke on Johan. He's got to be careful though. These Marines are very susceptible to the Colossus, and with that overcharge coming through, does not want to overextend. Johan, though, is able to at least count what was going on. And now the tank's in a very good spot, looking to get on top of everything. Here come the Zealots charging in the Immortals, dealing a lot of damage. The Archon will go down. A lot of these Colossus just starting to overwhelm, but there's not enough here for Johan as Special starts pushing into the third base. Able to get all of the Colossus. A couple of Zealots going to be warped in, but it's not going to be enough. There's no overcharge here, and GG. A Special takes game number 4, and we're going to have a game 5 finals. The last map of the series is going to be... what was it? Was it... Oh, Romanticide. It's going to be Romanticide. GG's. Who will take it? I'm curious to know. Both players have just been playing a really good game, back and forth, really showing some strong moves. And, it could be anybody's game here. And it is anybody's game. It is now a best-of-1 situation. Both players are ready. Countdown has begun. Get excited, guys. Get hyped. We are in the final game of the tournament. It's either going to be Special or Johan taking the championship. Here we go. right. Without further ado, in the bottom right-hand corner, in the blue, he is the Terran player known as Special. And in the top left, in the red, he is the Protoss player. Give it up. It is Johan. All right, so both players playing this out very hardcore. Looks like Special going to proxy yet again. Now, Johan did a good job of scouting around, but was not able to find the base, right? Was not able, or the barracks, but this time going to be a double racks play from Special. Now it is gasless. Oh no, it's 3 racks. No, is it 3 rack? What are you doing? Are you doing 3 racks, Marina? It has to be, right? Because he doesn't have any gas. He's got 2. And there we go, a 3rd racks. Special getting cheeky here in the final game. Gateway does go down. Johan just now scouting around, sees that there is a barracks. So does he think that there's something going on? I don't think so. Okay, no, he is gonna eventually scout this, but already there will be a Marine out. It's gonna be a little bit too late, I think.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Yeah. There we go. So this is going to get scouted. Johan sees exactly what is coming now. He sees that it is gasless, so it is going to be Marines, but is it going to be too late? He will have the Cybernetics core up in time. Does have the double SCVs. So we'll be able to start making some bunkers and really start pushing into this. But now we see double shield batteries coming out here. And another gateway. Trying to corner out a Stalker to deal with this as a Zealot. But Special just holding back right now. He is not attacking. He's waiting for a little bit more Marines to come in here before he actually does go across. But making 3 Marines at a time. Stalker trying to find where the army is coming in from. Oh, he's pulling the SCVs. He's pulling the boys. He is going all in here, guys. The probe looking for an answer. Oh my god, the choo-choo train has commenced. All aboard the party train as the SCVs do start flying around. This is the best the best game 5 we could hope for, potentially. And here we go. The probe's going to get pulled here with the shield batteries as well to help kind of give some of the help. The Marine's going to start pushing into this. We'll be able to take care of one of the Stalkers here potentially. No, he's going to overcharge this. Oh my god, is Special going to lose this? The overcharge overkill is going to start losing some of the probes, though. The SCVs are trying to get a surround on top of this, but honestly, the shields are starting to fall short. The rest of the probes are going to get pulled, as essentially Special just trying to get a wraparound on some of these units. But Special starting to fall short. He is starting to push forward, though. Can he get on top of it? One of the Stalkers will fall. GG's. And Johan takes the tournament in Game 5, defending that all in from Special. GG's. Well played.